Confidence is not about being the loudest person in the room. It is the quiet power that makes people notice you instantly. The highest form of confidence is when nothing can shake or control you. Learn to react to nothing and become truly untouchable to others. Real power is when your mood, your focus, and your decisions are not for sale. When you stop dancing to everyone else's reactions, you finally start leading your own life. Today, you will learn how to build that kind of steady, unshakable presence. We will break down how to build this specific kind of quiet power. You will learn to silence self-doubt and control your sharp emotions. This whole journey is not about pretending, it is about becoming your strongest self. Prepare now to step into a completely transformed, better version of you. Think of this as mental strength training. Every idea here is a small, repeatable drill. The more you practice these drills, the more natural confidence will feel in your body. By the end of this audiobook, you will have a clear roadmap to behave like the most confident version of yourself, even on the days you do not feel like it. Chapter 1. Stop explaining everything. One of the fastest ways people drain personal confidence is by over-explaining everything. You give long, unnecessary excuses so people will not judge you harshly. Confident people never live in apology mode or constant justification. They already know that their deep personal worth is not up for public debate. When you stop explaining yourself, you instantly project immense strength to others. Your deliberate, chosen words immediately carry far more personal weight and authority. You do not need a full essay. A simple, direct response is often more than enough. There is great internal power in saying, "I chose this because it is right for me." Every time you explain yourself unnecessarily, you send a weak, needy message. But every time you keep it short, you send a much stronger message. Stop over-explaining now and stand firmly by all of your personal choices. The less you explain yourself, the stronger and steadier you will feel inside. When someone questions your decision, you can calmly repeat, "This is what works for me," and leave it there. You do not need to convince them, you only need to be clear with yourself. Notice how much mental energy you waste trying to manage what other people might think. That same energy, redirected toward your goals, turns into focus, discipline, and momentum. Over-explaining is a habit of fear. Concise answers are a habit of self-respect. Practice answering the next few questions in your life with 1 or 2 clean sentences, and then stop talking. Let the silence after your sentence remind people that you are not asking for permission. Chapter 2. Master your inner voice now. If you wish to become truly confident, you must master the voice speaking to you. Your inner voice is either your greatest weapon or your biggest personal enemy. The way you speak to yourself privately determines how you show up publicly. If your inner voice repeats, "I am not good enough," you will feel small and nervous. But if your inner voice declares, "I can handle this," you walk in calmer and sharper. Confidence never begins with external applause or massive achievements from others. It begins in your mind with the exact words you allow to echo there. Your brain believes the truth of steady, consistent repetition. You must choose to speak to yourself like a person already worthy of deep respect. Do not say, "I'm so stupid." Instead, choose to say, "I will learn and do better next time." The goal is not fake, empty positivity at all times. The goal is true, consistent internal strength within your mind. Your mind becomes your strongest ally instead of your harshest critic. Master this crucial inner voice and you will feel confidence in your bones every single day. Most people run an inner script they never chose. It was copied from criticism, school, or family. You now have permission to rewrite that script line by line. Ask yourself, if my best friend spoke to me like my inner voice does, would I keep them in my life? If the answer is no, then the old voice has to go. Replace harsh self-talk with language that is firm but respectful, honest about mistakes, yet focused on solutions. The brain rewires through repetition, not one dramatic speech, so keep feeding it strong, steady phrases. Over weeks and months, this new voice becomes your default setting, and your behavior naturally rises to match it. Chapter 3. Build respect before confidence. All kinds of lasting, true confidence begin with one powerful, necessary truth. You cannot feel powerful if you do not actively respect yourself first. Self-respect is the essential foundation. Without it, confidence is just a fragile act or thin mask. The way you consistently treat yourself sets the standard for how the world must treat you. If you disrespect your own precious time, others will surely disrespect it too. When you start showing yourself genuine self-respect, people around you sense the shift. That is where truly dangerous confidence begins to take visible shape. Self-respect comes from the small, daily choices that tell your mind, I genuinely matter. This means following through when you promise yourself a specific action. When you deliberately set a strong boundary and hold it firm, that is respect for yourself. Once you can fully trust yourself, confidence will naturally flow from deep within you. Respect yourself first and fully in every single situation you face. Confidence without genuine self-respect is always hollow and permanently empty. Think about the tiny ways you quietly disrespect yourself, scrolling past your bedtime, saying yes when you mean no, laughing at jokes that cut you down. Each of these may look small on the surface, but together they tell your mind, my needs do not matter. Self-respect is built when your actions finally line up with your values. If you say health matters, you protect your sleep and your food choices like something sacred. If you say growth matters, you stop wasting your best hours on mindless distractions. You will notice that the more you respect your own limits, the less attracted you are to people who constantly cross them. Confidence then stops being a performance and becomes a side effect of living in alignment with yourself. Chapter 4. Kill the approval need. One of the biggest traps that steals personal confidence is the desperate, constant need for approval. This subtle, pervasive need quietly controls far too many people's lives. When your confidence depends on external approval, it will always remain fragile and weak. If your self-worth rises and falls with the public's fleeting reactions, you will live like a vulnerable puppet. When you kill the need for approval, you automatically free yourself from external control. You stop chasing applause and start focusing on living with authenticity and purpose. How to kill the need. Deliberately practice saying no without offering any long, unnecessary explanation. Remind yourself every day, their approval is optional for my success in life. My own internal self-respect is absolutely non-negotiable and essential. When you stop chasing external approval, people may initially dislike your new behavior, but they deeply admire it when you simply don't need their validation. Dangerous confidence is born when you walk into any room and stop wondering, will they like me today? Instead, you focus on the core question, do I respect how I am showing up here right now? The day you stop chasing approval, you step into a profound new kind of personal freedom. Start noticing how often your decisions are really just attempts to avoid disapproval. You change your outfit, your opinion, even your silence, just so nobody is upset with you. Living like this turns you into a mirror, always reflecting what others want to see, never who you are. Choosing approval over truth might keep short-term peace, but it slowly kills long-term self-respect. Practice small experiments. Give a clear opinion once a day without softening it just to be liked. Watch how the world does not end and the right people are actually drawn closer to you. Approval becomes a bonus, not a requirement, and that shift alone changes how you walk into every room. Chapter 5. Silence over emotion. One of the greatest visible signs of deep confidence is not how loud you can be in the room. It is how calmly and effectively quiet you can remain under pressure and attack. True internal strength is often the opposite of the emotional need to have the last word in every discussion. It is the ability to stay calm and silent and refuse to be pulled into every emotional battle. When you respond with silence instead of raw, uncontrolled emotion, you take back control. You immediately buy yourself time to think clearly and strategically about your best response. Silence shows that you are not easily shaken and that you cannot be manipulated by others' actions. Silence not only protects your personal power, but also makes your chosen words much stronger later on. You do not owe everyone an immediate emotional reaction or a full explanation for your actions. Silence is your strongest shield and your greatest source of internal power when used strategically. Imagine someone throwing sharp words at you, hoping you will explode and prove their story right. Instead of reacting, you breathe, look at them once, and say nothing. In that quiet pause, their control over you breaks completely. Your nervous system calms down, and your thinking brain has time to come back online. From that calmer place, you can pick a response that serves your values, not your anger. Sometimes the most powerful sentence is simply, "I hear you," followed by a boundary and then silence. Silence does not mean weakness. It means you refuse to let impulsive emotion drive the steering wheel. Chapter 6. Let your body speak first. Before you ever open your mouth to utter a single word, your body is already telling the world who you are. People immediately observe how you walk, how you stand, and how you look directly at them. The core truth. If your spoken words and your body language do not match, people will always believe your body first. To let your body speak first means you walk into any room like you already belong there. It means you stand tall, with your shoulders back and your head held high. The mind and the body are permanently connected. If you desire deep confidence, sometimes the fastest way to shift your mind is to shift your body posture first. A practical tip: when you walk into any room, pause briefly, take a calm, deep breath, and straighten your posture. Then walk in at a deliberate, steady pace. No hurry, no rush, just pure presence in the moment. When your body speaks confidence clearly, you do not need to oversell yourself to anyone. Dangerous confidence is not about shouting louder than others in the room. Your body tells the entire story before your mouth ever has the chance to speak. Think of your posture as your silent resume that everyone reads in under 3 seconds. Slumped shoulders whisper, "I am not sure I belong here." Open shoulders and steady eye contact quietly say, "I know I have a place in this room." You are not faking anything. You are giving your nervous system a signal of safety. A strong stance tells your brain, "We are okay," and your thoughts slowly adjust to that message. Practice this in low-stakes places first, walking into a cafe, a classroom, or a meeting. Soon, your body language will carry confidence, even on days when your mind feels shaky inside. Chapter 7. Stop reacting, start leading. Most people live their lives stuck in constant reaction mode to everything around them. As long as you are stuck in reacting, you are not actively leading your own life. The person who simply reacts is always one step behind the action and always vulnerable. But the person who chooses to lead their own life sets the emotional tone and the direction. The hard truth: when you continuously react to everything, people quickly learn how to control you. But when you stop reacting and stay calm and steady, you block that manipulation. Leading starts with the essential act of leading yourself first in your own life. It means deliberately choosing your actions instead of letting them be chosen for you by default and weak reaction. You need self-discipline and control over yourself to become a true leader. How to shift? Start by slowing down your automatic response immediately. Always pause and think before you choose to respond to anything or anyone. When you enter any situation with a solid, predetermined mindset, you lead the situation instead of reacting to it. Dangerous confidence is born when you stop giving the outside world the power to dictate your actions and emotions. Ask yourself, what do I want to stand for in this room, no matter how people behave? That answer becomes your internal script before the meeting, conversation, or argument even begins. Maybe you choose calm honesty, or firm boundaries, or curiosity instead of defensiveness. Now, instead of reacting to every mood swing around you, you stick to your chosen script. Leaders are predictable in their values, not in their triggers. You cannot control how people behave, but you can decide what version of you will show up. Every time you respond from intention rather than impulse, you step deeper into leadership and out of emotional slavery. Chapter 8. Embrace discomfort now. True, lasting confidence is never built in comfort or ease. It is built in the uncomfortable, challenging places that most people try to avoid. Confidence is not about simply telling yourself that you are already strong and capable. It is about putting yourself into challenging situations that prove you are strong and resilient. The secret: you can train yourself to get comfortable being uncomfortable. Instead of seeing discomfort as a danger signal, start seeing it as training for your future growth. The more you embrace discomfort, the more resilient you will become over time. You must train yourself to handle what others cannot face and from which they retreat. The next time you feel that intense fear creeping in, pause and reframe the feeling in your mind. Tell yourself clearly, this exact feeling is where I get stronger and grow. Discomfort in a conversation might be telling the truth instead of staying silent. Discomfort in a project might be starting before you feel completely ready. Discomfort in relationships might be leaving spaces where you are constantly disrespected. Each uncomfortable step is like lifting a heavier weight at the gym. At first, your mind screams, "Put it down, this is too much." But if you breathe, hold it for a few seconds, and repeat tomorrow, the weight starts to feel normal. Confidence is not the absence of discomfort. It is your proven history of walking through it and surviving. Chapter 9. Eliminate dangerous triggers. Your discipline and confidence often fail because you ignore your personal trigger moments. These predictable moments are times, places, or emotional states that instantly shred your discipline. You must learn to identify and plan for these moments in advance. Your most dangerous trigger is usually linked to a familiar pattern of emotional escape or self-sabotage. That specific negative feeling becomes the trigger for the easy, comforting, but destructive habit. Step 1. Ruthless honesty. Be completely honest about when and why you fall off track in your life. Identify the precise feeling that leads to the lapse in your consistency and commitment. Step 2. The refactor. Create a firm, non-negotiable script for that exact trigger moment and emotional state. When trigger X happens, I will do action Y instead of the old, harmful Z action. You are using pre-commitment to redirect the emotional energy away from the destructive habit. Mastering your discipline means mastering the 3 or 4 most dangerous trigger moments that define your week and self-control. Maybe your trigger is loneliness at night, leading to mindless scrolling or late-night snacking. Maybe it is stress after work, pushing you toward arguments or avoidance. Do not judge the trigger. Study it like a scientist gathering data. Write it down, time, place, feeling, and what you usually do afterward. Then design a new ritual for that exact moment. Call a supportive friend, go for a short walk, or open your journal instead. At first, the old habit will still whisper loudly, but your new script gives you another option. Every time you choose the new action, you prove to yourself that you can be trusted with your own life. Chapter 10. Consolidate your identity. The final, highest, and most powerful stage of cultivating genuine confidence is shifting it from something you sometimes do to something you are. True discipline and confidence are not isolated actions you perform with great effort. They are a stable, core part of your identity and self-concept. The moment you decide and declare, "I am a confident, disciplined person," your choices become easier and more consistent. Consistent, reliable actions will always follow your strong identity and deeply held self-concept. A professional, dedicated runner does not debate whether they should run today. They just run. Your daily actions simply align with your new, non-negotiable self-concept of self-worth. The question, when you face a major stressful challenge, ask yourself this simple guiding question. What would a truly disciplined and highly confident person choose to do right now in this situation? Then, execute that answer with full intention, reinforcing your chosen identity. This identity shift moves the energy away from the exhausting battle of pure willpower. You are simply acting in alignment with the person you have decided to become for the world to see. Identity is like the operating system beneath all your habits. If you still secretly believe, I'm lazy or I'm weak, your actions will eventually fall back to that level. When you deliberately upgrade that identity, your standards quietly rise with it. You start asking, what does someone like me tolerate? What does someone like me refuse? Slowly, your environment, your relationships, and your routines begin to match your new answer. You no longer chase confidence as a feeling. You live it as a default way of being. This is the point where discipline stops feeling like a fight and starts feeling like self-respect in motion. Remember this final, non-negotiable instruction clearly in your mind. The truly confident and disciplined life is not found through random, fleeting motivation. It is built through relentless, consistent, non-negotiable action every single day and night. Confidence is not about cruel punishment or constant self-deprivation for others to see. It is the highest expression of profound, genuine self-respect for your own worth. Treat every decision, every boundary, and every quiet, firm no as a vote for the person you are becoming. And as you keep casting those votes day after day, the world will start to see what you already know. You are no longer controlled by noise. You are guided by unshakable, dangerous confidence from within.